You've already learned how to explore and download your own data, but did you know that you're able to check out other participants' data too? NestWatch data is open access. This means that the full database of data is available for download at any time. There are a few caveats here, of course, that are put into place to protect our participants' privacy. Most importantly, all public-facing data are anonymized, so no one is able to go through the data and find your name, address, or any other sensitive information. There are more restrictions in place for certain data, and we'll go over them later in this video. There are 3 ways to look at NestWatch data. First, we'll check out the public data map. From the home page, click the Science tab, and then NestWatch Map Room. This map shows a pinpoint for every nest attempt that has been summarized and ended in NestWatch. You can use the filters at the top to search by species and by year. You'll also see a number generated at the top left corner that shows how many nests fit these criteria. So if we leave it at all species and all years, that comes out to about 415,700 nest sites. But for example, if we look at American kestrel nests in 2024, we'll see around 1,300 nest sites. One thing to remember here is that this is a map of all nest sites that have hosted a nest attempt by the chosen species. So one dot, or nest site, on the map could have hosted many nest attempts for the species that you selected. You can zoom in to get a better idea of where these nests are located, but note that you can't zoom in past a certain point. We zoom in on these Virginia nests. You'll notice that's as far as I can zoom in. I can't go any closer. This is to protect participant privacy, as many participants monitor nests in their own backyard. In general, this tool is a great way to get an idea of where and how many nests NestWatch has of each species by year. Again, only nests that have been summarized and ended will appear in this map. Next, we'll return to the Science tab and select Project-Wide Data Downloads. This is a great tool for the casual data enthusiast looking to find basic patterns in hatching or fledging times, or average clutch size compared to the number that fledge. There are many different ways to look at this data. If you're a researcher, hang tight. We'll discuss a better option for you next. From the project-wide downloads page, you can download a quick summary of data submitted by other participants. Again, this is anonymized, and the location is only shown to the state or province level. You'll first have the option to choose the species, and then select the year you wish to explore, and the location. NestWatch is active all over the world, but at this time we only have states and provinces available to choose from for this filter. You can select all locations to include nests from all over the globe. I'm going to choose Virginia. Next, scroll down and select your data type. You can choose from a reproductive success summary, which provides total sums of nesting data, or raw nest attempt data. If you choose this second option, you'll see all of the fields for the data you select. Check off whether you'd like nest site data and/or breeding data included in your download. Then select the file type, an XLS file or CSV, and then click Export Data. Again, your data may automatically download as it has here, or you may see a pop-up appear that prompts you to save the data to your computer. Once the data is saved to your computer, click to open that file. Once the file is open, you'll see this title page, which includes a data disclaimer, the date at the top here, and if you scroll down, you'll see a data dictionary for this report. So you'll see the codes on the left and their definitions on the right. On the raw attempt data page, you'll see all of the data that meets the criteria you set on the NestWatch website. On this attempt tab, you'll see the anonymous site identifier code that only NestWatch administrators can interpret, the location, which again is only down to state, the species, the outcome, again these codes are defined in the dictionary on that title page. all this information that's generally in the breeding summary section of a nest attempt. If you remember, we chose American kestrels in Virginia in 2024. So if you scroll down on this page, that means there's about 230 nests. The amount of data that exports is going to be dependent on the criteria you set and the amount of data that was submitted to NestWatch by our participants. On the Raw Attempt Sites tab, you'll see similar information, the anonymous site identifier and the location down to state level. The site identifier can be used to link the site data that's on this tab to the raw attempt data on the first tab. As you scroll right, you'll see more nest site information for the nests in your export. In this case, it looks like the users filled out most of the columns, but there's a few fields that look blank still. And that's something you might run into. All of the data that's included in these exports depends on the data that the participants actually submitted. So this is one reason why we suggest filling out as many fields as you can, because the more fields you fill out, the more data you'll see in these fields during export. Okay, let's go back to the website to learn about one more spot where you'll find participant data. Now we're back on the website. The third place to find NestWatch data is in our Open Dataset Downloads, again, found here under Science. This tool is ideal for scientists, researchers, or any person who is interested in running statistical analyses on NestWatch data. The data in this download is anonymized, but it does include the latitude and longitude of each nest attempt. On the Open Dataset Downloads page, you'll see an introduction to the files. Please read this information before you download the data. Also, please note this published paper that describes the NestWatch dataset in detail beyond what is described here. You can download from this link right here. Once you've read through the contents of the page, including information about data validation, resources for analysts, personal data, acknowledging NestWatch, consulting with staff, and our terms of use, you'll find links to download the data at the bottom of the page, here in our Mendeley Data Archive. You'll see the date that the dataset was last updated listed here as well. Typically, we update these downloadable files once per year in January. That means that most nests included in this dataset are well over and done with before the data are made public. Any edits to nests that occur after the file is updated will be included or updated in the file the following year. I have one more bonus location to find NestWatch data. And if we scroll back up, you'll be able to find it again under the Science tab, under Publications, and at the bottom here is our annual reports. This is an archive of the NestWatch Digest. Each spring, we publish a report that summarizes the previous year's data submissions and shares stories and research. All of our NestWatch Digests are archived here from 2016 through to the present. Click through each document to find over a dozen pages of NestWatch's yearly accomplishments. And that's it. Those are all the ways you can access NestWatch participant data. Have fun exploring!